Hello, very warm welcome. You're watching Your Trades on ET Now. This is Priyanka Uppal along with me, Snehi Shah. What a day to the market. Of course, we started on a soft note, but then the strength and the speed of the recovery, definitely a good day in sense of recovery. Talk about Nifty, it did recover. Bank Nifty though, where it opened, did a good swing of around about 800 odd points, gave moves both sides to the trader bulls and the bears, but then closed near to its opening levels only. But what a smart recovery mid-cap and small-cap index. Mid-cap, which regained near about 2% post 10% correction in last 2-3 sessions, looks like has it bottomed out near 100 DMA. We have to wait out for more signals, but then Nifty small cap, it did regain around 3%. The top losers yesterday, till yesterday, the top losers did also made good comebacks, such as metals, which was the top sectoral loser, big selling in last 1 year, regained 2%. Nifty Reality, where the biggest selling in over 2 years, did regain about 1%. Adani stocks were regaining in the trade today. Many buzzing stocks today were from metal space, copper stocks, copper price on LME trading at 11-month high. Iron ore prices that did give some respite for stocks like NMDC, and of course many other stocks like mid-cap and small-cap regained quite significantly today. Some other stories which we're tracking today, of course, is SEBI board meeting, which is expected on Friday. Many on the agenda. One key point could be that more discussion about mutual funds and also T+0 cash settlement. These could be the top stories. Other than that, what else is making news today, Sneha?
Well, absolutely, Priyanka, but we have to talk once again about the action that we've been seeing in the small cap space, because that's the real winner in trade today, up 3%. Remember, over the last 5 trading sessions, that index was down a cumulative 11%. So, well, some positivity over there. But let's talk about some more big stories of the day then. And general insurers reached Bombay High Court over GST demand. Now, general insurance companies have filed a petition at the Bombay High Court challenging demands of goods and services tax totaling to 15,000 crore. That's an ET Now exclusive story for you, and insurance are claiming the GST authority's step to the levy may lead to the risk of double taxation after these firms have already paid their tax dues. And in other news, let's talk about the primary markets, because that also did see some action coming in today. The Crystal Services IPO opened for subscription today, and the Gopal Snacks IPO that made its debut on D Street today. That stock unfortunately listed at a 13% discount on the back of the weak market sentiment that we did see around 10 a.m. when the stock listed. Now, shares of Gopal Snacks made a rather weaker market debut, listing at 351, which is a 13% discount over their issue price of 401. And well, the top story of this hour, at least just a few minutes ago, we've been getting word that Biocon arm has signed long-term pact with Eris Life. So, well, that stock also did pretty well today, up almost 6% in the last few minutes of the trading session. That was Biocon as well. But with that, let's move on and let's get sense of what the markets have done today. A very surprising recovery that we've been seeing, and to understand more about the market moves that we can expect going ahead, we're now being joined by our in-house technical expert Kunal Bothra. Kunal, hi, thanks so much for joining us today. Help us understand, right? Because we've been seeing some correction over the last few trading sessions. Today, a very welcome recovery, I would say. So, do you think that the bulls are at play only for today? Do you think today was just a one-off and there is more legs to this correction left, or do you think we can expect some positivity going ahead?
Good afternoon. So, my sense is that this was a relief rally, much needed relief rally after yesterday's and last 3 days or 4 days of very heightened kind of a price correction for mid caps, small caps, and individual large cap stocks as well. Relatively, I think the benchmark indices have done reasonably well. So Nifty is still holding on to that 22,000 levels broadly. We had a touch and go moment yesterday, sub the 22,000 mark, but net it's we've been protecting this key support for the indices. Both the Bank Nifty and the Nifty are trading above their respective 50-day moving averages. So that's also another comfortable sign for the index over the near term. Ideally, in this kind of a scenario, when stocks go into a process of a bounce or a relief rally, we generally expect the asset classes in the stocks to get into a double dip towards retesting the previous swing supports and then forming a major bottom for themselves. So I would believe that over the next couple of days, there could be a lot of better opportunities and window which could be open, where traders could look at buying stocks on correction as well as trying to map up the portfolio for themselves. the indices holding on to that key moving averages, I think, is a very strong signal that we are into a very strong bull market or an uptrend, but it was just a corrective phase, a much needed one for the mid caps and small caps.
All right, Kunal, big words coming in. Of course, Bank Nifty, Nifty both took support at its 50 DMA, and that's we saw a relief rally. So, which stocks can participate from here in this relief rally? More, coming in from mid cap, small cap, or large caps would be your preference?
It's a mix of large cap names, but I would probably pick two differentiated sectors. So one of them is the IT stocks, and I would believe strongly that the likes of Wipro could make a very strong comeback from here on. The stock is on the verge of breaking past our major 3-week downward sloping trend line. So this could be a stock which should be on traders' radar, expecting a target of 550 with a very immediate term, stop loss at 500. And DMart is the other stock which I've been very bullish on from levels of 3,500 and earlier. I would believe that at current levels of 4,000 also, the stock looks very attractive. It's inching towards a breakout on the shorter term chart. So 4,400 as a target for DMart, and stop loss could be kept at 3,850.
All right, Kunal, well, thanks so much for joining us today and for sharing your picks and your market view going ahead as well. But with that, let's also address the big story of the day, and that has to be Biocon, right? Because we just got an announcement about its deal, and the stock was up 5.75%. Now, Biocon Biologics has entered into a long-term commercial collaboration with Eris Life Sciences to expand patient access across its portfolio of metabolics, oncology, and critical care products in India. Now, this collaboration is largely in line with Biocon's strategy of value unlocking from its legacy business into the branded formulation business that it has built in India. Now, to understand more about this deal and the impact that it is going to have on both of these companies, we are being joined by Forum Parekh, who's the lead pharma analyst at Sharekhan. Hi, Forum. Thanks so much for taking the time out and joining us today. Give us your first views or first thoughts about this deal. Tell us what kind of value unlocking can we expect for both of these companies going ahead, because this deal is a rather hefty amount coming in at 12,420 million. So take us through what your thoughts are, your first thoughts on this deal.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me on the show. Prima facie, what I see is that this is going to be beneficial to both the companies, Biocon as well as Eris. So for Biocon, there is a twin benefit that it would get patient access of Eris to improve its metabolic oncology business, and also the amount that Biocon received of 1,200 odd crores. We assume that this amount would be used towards repayment of debt, which was already higher because after acquiring Viatris business for its Biocon Biologics. So probably this repayment of debt could lead to increase in the EPS for Biocon, and therefore lead to re-rating in its valuations. For Eris, I believe that it is an expansion from its derma therapy into oncotherapy, which Eris was already looking out to expand in the Indian region into multiple therapies. So I feel that this deal is beneficial to both the companies at the moment.
Good words coming in. At the face of it, you said the deal looks beneficial for both. But if we have to make a calculation with this deal, how much do you think incremental revenue Biocon can generate?
This is quite early at the moment. We have not worked on the model. But just if we see that if there is a debt repayment on the cards out of this amount, we see EPS, which was earlier like 5 rupees for FY24. We expect it to inch up to almost 11 rupees for FY25 and 15 rupees for FY26. So basically, it is EPS accretive. So we have a heads up on this deal.
That's some positive words coming in for the earnings per share of both of these companies. Thanks so much for taking the time out and joining us today, and thanks for sharing your initial thoughts on this mega deal that has just come through. But viewers, with that, it's time for a short breather on this edition of Your Trades. You stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Now let's get you the action from the derivative space. VIX did cool off today to 13.6, but then since it was the Nifty weekly expiry, Nifty did see a long built-up trend, but then short built-up trend for Bank Nifty. The calls which were active on the buy side for Nifty were 22,200, 22,300, and hence we saw this move also. But the range also looks very narrow because the support, the put writing is most active at the levels like at the strikes like 22,100, 22,000 and 22,100. So looks a very short, narrow range for Bank Nifty, but for Nifty, the trend looks toward the buying side.
All right, that was a snapshot on what's happening in the world of derivatives. But with that, let's also bring you the big story of the day. And well, the small caps are not the only part of the market that were on a tear. We had a particular commodity, that is copper. And copper prices were on the tear as well, with LME copper perched at 11-month high, rising 5% in just the last 3 days. So why is this rise happening? What does this mean for the global copper market? My colleague Ashesha is joining in with an explanation on that. Ashesha, over to you.
Well, yes, copper prices are at 11-month high levels. In fact, LME copper is up nearly 5% in the last 3 trading sessions to come at that $8,830 per ton. One of the main reasons, of course, is the decline in processing fees that we have seen, and hence we have copper smelters which are resorting to ways to explore and cope up with the fall in processing fees. Remember, processing fees is the fees that is charged by copper smelters to convert concentrate into metal, and that has declined, and hence they are resorting to various measures to cope up with the fall in these prices, including the measures include production in copper production, and that is one of the main reasons copper prices globally have risen. We have several players globally and in India reacting to that. Indian players, the likes of Hindalco, we have Vedanta, and Hindustan Copper in fact is up nearly 5 to 6% on the back of this news. Jefferies has come out with a report, and they say that the timing of the next bull market in copper has been pulled forward on account of improving outlook. They, however, continue to remain cautious, and they say they have not raised their near-term copper price forecast. But for now, copper prices are at 11-month high, and we have not only global players but domestic players reacting to this news flow.
Domestic, both players reacting to it. Hindustan Copper stocks like more than 10% at the start and the close of the day. Well, that's all in this edition of Your Trades. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more updates to ET Now.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.